Hey guys, welcome to PCube, where we watch and talk about music as classical musicians. And welcome to part 2 of this series that we started yesterday. If you haven't watched the first part, please go ahead and do so. We're going to put a link up here. So we started kind of like a little contest. It's not really a contest, but we are watching and listening to the same song by 3 different bands or singers. For this one, we chose Sound of Silence. Yesterday, we listened to the disturbed version of it, and today we are gonna do the Pentatonix version. And I am so excited because the other 2 versions that we already listened and then we're gonna listen, they're all like they have instruments obviously, but this is the only one that is like purely vocal. So I am so excited to see how they distribute that between the voices. How do they like treat the harmony, how they build the intensity. Just with vocals, yesterday's song was really surprising to us because I think it was one of the most like subtle but at the same time dramatic, but not that dramatic build-ups that we heard on this channel. That the way that they are adding intensity to it, and in his voice as well. So we're excited to see how that works out in just like an a cappella group. That's why we thought we should definitely put like an a cappella group in this series. We chose this one.
I'm also very looking forward to see it because in my ears I can really hear it as an a cappella. This is a song that I could really imagine it would turn so iconic also when it's only a cappella and without any instruments. So I'm also very excited to see this version.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence.
I kind of knew that they're gonna start with that bass singer, but I was not I kind of forgot how good he is. And honestly, in this one, because it's the first time, I guess that I'm just really paying attention to him alone. His voice doesn't match. I cannot feel that person like has such a deep and low voice register. It's just like it kind of like throws me off a little bit, and my brain is like, I cannot match them. But then, I mean, we talked about that in the yesterday's video, that like I think choosing such a bass voice to start off the song, I feel like it's very fitting, and obviously they went for the same thing.
Yeah, actually for me it was the opposite. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting, because it's a cappella, and also compared to the original, I was expecting it to be a little starting to with a higher pitch, that they were singing like a choir. You know, it was like a high pitch vibe that the original one has. And it's crazy now that I'm comparing this one to the last one. It's so crazy that how an arrangement can completely change the whole the song, what the song wants to say, and the whole interpretation of the song.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, here we go.
Within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence.
I love the harmonies they chose. I think they switched some of them,
Mm.
but I love the fact that the chords or the harmonies that they're in, they're chords basically, but they're distributing it between different people. It feels so open and not bright, but it feels like there is a lot of space in between the chords. It's not just so tense, like and then the singing on top of that, it really feels like it's just like very, I don't know, I just, space is the first word that comes to my mind, and this is like floating. I feel like that's the difference between that and yesterday. Yesterday's song felt more like tense and like restrained, and this one feels a little more open and spacious.
Yeah, and brighter. Yeah, exactly. And I have to say that I don't know if the person that sings the second singer was new, or they were already there in the group, because I think I never saw them before. But it was adding a really unique kind of voice color to the whole thing. And my imagination was that exactly they would begin with something like that, with some voice like a higher pitch and more brighter version like that. And I have to say, this version, in comparison to the last version that we listened yesterday, I think they went sooner through the song. I don't know how to say it, but it was like the last song was a long time really intimate and like introvert, and like very like in your mind. And then at the climax, which was I think in the second half of the song, the instruments become more big and it became more epic, and the singer was singing with more like out there sound, and more like angry or more stronger. But now they are already, went through this like a little more, not dramatic, but a little more alive.
Like I feel like the flow kind of started. The other one was like more restrained until like maybe the last minute or two. And this one, it already had that intro moment, and then it's already like we're in. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and then let's see where else it goes from here.
Silence, and in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share, and no one dare disturb the sound of silence, of silence, of silence, of silence.
So said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed in the wells of silence.
To say here, because we heard two verses by two different people, and I love that. We heard 4 verses, I feel like, right? Because the intro and then 3 more verses. But every time the melody was the same, obviously, and there is no element of instruments. So you're kind of like more limited in a sense, because you cannot add or rule out instruments back and forth. But then it's all like they all started singing at the same time. But I love that how they arranged the voicing, the harmony, and like the textures to still be different every verse. So I feel like it's more fresh, and like it's just we're getting somewhere. It still like has that motion of getting somewhere, even though all of them were like included in all of the verses.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, sometimes not having something doesn't make you limited. It make you more creative and like show your what you want to show in other ways, other creative ways. And yeah, exactly, they played with the harmony a lot, especially before she came, the last singer came to sing. It was like something like a I don't know if it was a complete modulation or something, but the harmony, it was like, oh, okay, it was something different. And it was like saying that, okay, the more like female voice and higher pitch voice is coming now, and this is the end of the highest part of it. Yeah.
Of silence.
And the people bow and pray to the neon god they made.
And the signs are shouting its warning. And the words that he was for me. And the signs that the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
Wow.
I really like the way that they use the beatbox in the thing. It wasn't like this crazy beatbox, like it didn't felt like a beatbox, even though it was like the complete basic, like the of the, you know, the complete basic things that the beatboxer can do. But it felt really like I don't know, the vibe wasn't like the beatbox vibe that it always has in the songs, and it really added this big space. I don't know how to say it in the song. It was like the beatboxer was, or the beats that they were like that was happening in a very big room without any furniture. That was a very big reverb, and it was giving this feeling that the whole performance is happening in a very big and empty room. And as exactly the room that they were there, it was really feels like it was a live I don't know, performance or something, and it was happening exactly in that kind of room.
Yeah, one thing that was really interesting to me, same with the yesterday song, actually, I think I forgot to mention that, it's especially in the intro of both of them, the way that the phrases are like formed, and the way that there are like some intentional pauses or rests in between some of the phrases. It really, I feel like it's intentional because it emphasizes the importance of silence, and then it also like it ties to the whole like title as well. But I think the use of it, the places that they chose to do that, like in between the phrases, sometimes it was just maybe 1 second. I think it was more in the yesterday song actually, but in this one as well, like sometimes, especially in the introduction, you would like feel like really like sparse things of like phrasing or instrumentation or something, but then there was also like moments of silence. I think that was really meaningful to do that. And I like one more thing that I really liked about this one, because it again goes back to how you kind of like interpret it and then how the performance changes it. The structure of this one was totally different. I mean, there was still like some kind of a build-up, but I feel like the build-up was not that dramatic of a build-up from like nothing. It started kind of intimate, but I feel like the middle verses were kind of similar in terms of intensity. It didn't really get bigger. It was just changing, like the texture changed. They changed some of the voicing, they changed like the harmonization of some of the words, and then at the end I think the same person kind of like wrapped it up. So the structure where it was kind of like I started and then I kind of passed it to other people and then I ended like that. So it was like not like a really like big mountain that we get to the peak kind of moment, at least not to me. It was kind of like more like a circle that we change it every time we pass it to each other. So that was also interesting, because that's something that again I feel like affects how you perceive a song as a listener or a performer, because you interpret it differently. It felt like you're kind of in a loop that never ends, compared to like you start with nothing and then you go deeper and deeper, like, and then further in the darkness. So again, that was something that I know we're not supposed to compare in life, but based on you said, but I mean, we can't help but to compare between these different versions. So it's just interesting to really get to the details of these songs.
Yeah, also exactly as you said, that you could say in the last song, the moment that they were like, okay, it's no more introvert and we are going out there, and it's the like the high part, the dramatic, more out there part. It was like 1 second and you could say that, okay, this part and this part. But with this one, exactly, you couldn't say one moment, or you couldn't even realize through the time that it's becoming bigger and bigger, or like fuller or something. But if you now think about the beginning, that was starting with just one singer without even other ones or like instruments, you could really, were like, okay, at the end it was so big, and then it started with really just a little sound. But yeah, exactly, you couldn't pick one moment that it was like, okay, here is the first part and then here is the second part that is more dramatic.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm so happy that we actually did that. We listened to this one. So tomorrow we are gonna do the last one. So you guys let us know, first of all, which version did you like better, yesterday or today's version. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. If you want to support us more, there's a buy me a coffee link in the description. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.